What's up, everybody? It's your boy Keefe with another GhostCultMag.com weekly ritual. This is going to be one of my last ever videos here from the San Francisco HQ. Next week, I move out of the city. Not too far. I'm not dying. I'm just moving in with my fiance. I'm getting married in less than a month. I'm super pumped. And, but yeah, it took me a little longer than usual to get on today, but here we are. And I know last week there was technical difficulties. I really apologize. I'll try to make up for it with a more thoughtful and thorough show this week. As usual, this is your show. As usual, this is streaming everywhere on the web, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, bunch of different YouTubes we have. I like hanging out on TikTok. Angel of Death is here. What up, what up, what up? We're also on the gram. This is your show too. It will always be free. Feel free to feel free to ask questions. This show will always be your show also. So, lots going on. People are asking me about this cover. This cover is awesome. Every week we do kind of a similar themed cover every month with a color scheme. This is my homie Mike. It's all love, bro. Hey, Headstock Goatlock is here. I saw one of your videos today about Finn McKenty and commented on it, by the way. So true to my word, I followed you back, friend. Fuck that guy. He's a fucking grifter. I used to look up to him, believe it or not. Not about making videos, but about marketing, because that's what he's really good at. Adam Goldsmith is here. What is up? What is up? So yeah, man, just hilarity. My homie shitted on the Knicks when we were celebrating in a thread that we won. Mike is one of my dear homies. We've been in a band together. He's brilliant and talented, but he was like, fuck the Knicks. And then Omar made this cover and I adapted it for our thing. So hilarious. I should have did the orange, but we've already done the yellow for the whole month. This might be one of my very last videos, as I said, from San Francisco. So cheers, Liquid Death. This is Buried Alive, one of the last few cans on Earth. I don't know why they fucked it up. I guess stevia is cheaper than agave nectar. Beto Camacho 13 is here. So yeah, man. If you're unfamiliar with us, please like and subscribe. It helps out. If you'd like to get tipsy, I'll share some of that stuff in a few minutes in the comments. But yeah, Ghost Cult Mag is your 24/7, 365 source for rock and metal news. We interview bands. You'll see we've interviewed a bunch of killer bands lately. We cover metal festivals and concerts all over the world. We review about 400 to 600 albums a year, give or take. So we are one of those sites. And just like a DIY band, an independent DIY journalism community is what we're trying to build here. So just like you would help support your favorite bands, we appreciate the support as well. All right. As usual, we start with the announcements, and some of these are heavy. So advanced warning. First of all, go New York, go New York, go. The New York Knicks won the NBA title. Honestly, I care least about the NBA of all the major sports in America, but team had not won since I was an infant or before I was born. Only got close 2 other times. Once was the 90s Knicks, the infamous Houston Rockets Knicks series. And what a tough one that was. And then again, one more time after that with the Pat Riley Knicks. But really, we've never gotten close, even remotely close. And Jalen Brunson put the team on his back for such a little guy. He was guarding Wembyana, who is 6'11", and it was like watching Iverson versus Mutombo sometimes. And he held his own, and the team won. And today was the parade in New York City. Granted, I would never like to go to another ticker tape parade in the Canyon of Heroes in Lower Manhattan, but it was a great time. I know a lot of people who went. I know a lot of people who worked it. Wonderful for the city. Just a tremendous thing for New York. So yeah, again, Mike, it's all love if you are watching or watch on the replay, but also you kind of get what you get when you fuck. You mess with the bull, you get the horns, brother. It's all good. Just again, we're still raising awareness for Sonny Mayo's Meal Train. Also, the horror metal madman came through his surgery, and he's on the road to recovery. Can't keep a good dude down. So I was hoping to meet him, and he made it to Milwaukee Metal Fest, but he did not. Milwaukee Metal Fest coverage. Milwaukee Metal Fest coming soon. The good land. This is a super bummer. Oliver Tree. I wasn't necessarily a huge fan, but if you've ever spent any amount of time on TikTok, you know who he is. Pop star, relatively young guy, died in a helicopter crash. Really sad. This one kind of took me by surprise. Former Census Fail guitarist, bassist, and guitarist Zach Roach died. The band put out a statement. Census Fail killer post-hardcore band. Shame about Zach, not a old guy by any stretch of the imagination. Also, Alden Smith, shout out to Mike again, former San Francisco 49ers, Oakland or Las Vegas Raiders, and Dallas Cowboys defensive end. He had one of the greatest rookie seasons of all time. He passed away at 36. He had kind of been run out of the league because of suspensions and drugs and things, and he turned his whole life around. He was delivering pizzas to the needy and food insecure and hungry and homeless right before he just perished. So really terrible. Also, this was a tough one today to find out about. Just kind of like, again, how fragile and short life is. I know during the pandemic, I did a lot of interviews with people where we talked about the fragility of life. Bartholomew Resch, formerly the bassist and lyricist for Belphegor, the great Austrian black and death metal band, passed away in a car accident last month. The band just shared the news of it today. You might have seen it on our socials or our website. Super sad. Bart, after he left the band, he continued to contribute lyrics to albums like Bondage Goat Zombie and Will Purchase Rights, Sex Fallen. Just very sad. Again, 49, very young for a guy to pass away. And then this one kind of surprised me also. A former peer of mine, when I used to do concert photography back in Boston the last 10 years ago, 15 years ago, was it Lindsay Gooley, who's in this photo here from Return to the Pit of Shadows Fall or Overcast. I'm not sure which show this is. You can see them in the background in the photo. Passed away. Don't know the circumstances, but not that old. Also relatively around my age. So super sad when one of our community loses somebody. And then also just another point. I know it's hard to have this unserious photo of Limp Bizkit with Wes Borland, a human sugar skull statue. They played Download Festival this year. They headlined Download Festival, one of the headliners for one of the first times in 10 years. And good old Wes there made a comment about, commented on the passing of Sam Rivers, who passed away last October, and how hard it's been to do Limp Bizkit without him. He's really irreplaceable on bass. They do have a very good bassist now on tour. And then on the way to Download, one of their roadies died. I think it's Dougie Miller, who is a longtime roadie of the band. So just like a member of the family to them. So that's super sad and heavy. And I am truly sorry to hear that stuff. All righty. Oops, whoa. We always follow up the sad news with celebrating some metal history. So some birthdays this week in the world of rock and metal. King Diamond of King Diamond and Merciful Fate celebrated a birthday this week. Both of these are phenomenal shots. This one on your left hand of the screen is from Rich Price Photography. And on the right, you have Jamie Sherwood's incredible King Diamond photo there from a couple of years ago, or a year and a half ago. Yeah. Moving along, let's see who else is celebrating a birthday this week. Ooh, God, trigger figure itchy today. Two members of Korn, Ray Luzier, had a birthday a couple of days ago, and Brian Head Welch's birthday is this weekend. Also, Sir Paul McCartney's kicking ass at all the ass at 83. Oh my God. Guy is just phenomenal. I would really love to go see him, but I don't think it's meant to be at those prices. Also, Joe Duplantier of Gojira. This is my favorite shot, one of my favorite shots ever of a concert photography. Realm Kim Hansen photography of Ghost Cults, Pharmadiver on Instagram. Phenomenal photo of Gojira. Also, Michael Anthony of Van Halen, seen here with Chickenfoot. I try to actively avoid any mention of Sammy Hagar whenever possible, but yes, happy birthday, Michael Anthony. Chino Moreno of the Deftones' birthday is this weekend. He has pure Gemini aura. He's just on the cusp of Gemini and Cancer, technically, I think. Albums celebrating anniversaries, rock, metal, and otherwise. Nirvana's Bleach celebrated 37 years. This is the one that started it all for them. Also, this is the Hunting Party by Linkin Park celebrates an anniversary this week. This week in history today, as I record this on Thursday night, almost Friday here in California. This is the infamous June 18th, 1984 Judas Priest Defenders of the Faith tour, where the fans rioted in Madison Square Garden, and they were banned for a while, and gave metal, again, Judas Priest constantly dodging. When your name is Judas Priest and you're all dressed in leather and sexy looking like Rob Halford and singing about the devil and all the evils of the world. They were banned for a while, only to be topped later by Slayer playing the small room in the old Madison Square Garden, which is still the same Madison Square Garden where the Knicks play and the Rangers play. But the old small room in that building, they tore the seats out. Someone should have told them, hey, don't have Slayer play here with a bunch of seats. It's not going to go your way. Also, this week in history, Typo Negative's next to last album, Life is Killing Me. It's a very depressing and sad album, like most Typo albums. Not so angry, very sad about the death of Pete's parents and Peter Steele. Great album, though. Symphony X, one of the few bands I ever fell asleep watching. Iconoclast, solid album, but again, boring the shit out of me. Sorry, not even a little sorry. Let's see. Also, Gojira. I mean, this album is incredible. I often do Silveria live at karaoke, and I would love to do this with a live band someday. Megadeth's Cryptic Writings was released this week in 1997. Judas Priest, Nostradamus. Every time a Judas Priest song or album comes up, I might just sing the song. I don't know. I kind of can't help myself. All right. Skid Row this week, I believe today in music history, released their single 18 in Life. Just absolutely catapulted them to the stratosphere and helped them transcend hair metal of the time. They were much heavier and much better songwriters than most of those glam metal bands. So they were able to kind of break out and be a little heavier on their next releases. But like, yeah, 18 in Life, man, it's still a thing. I know at this point, Ricky, if you're following the story of the song, Ricky is like 49 and still has life to go, just to make a point. But okay. Speaking of singles that kind of changed the fate of bands, Sulfur by Slipknot, already a huge band by this time, but this is a tremendous, catchy, heavy song by them. I know this was the era of people not being happy with them because they were kind of sounding too much like Stone Sour, but Sulfur is a great song. This album by In Flames is an absolute banger, and In Flames has been really releasing just tremendously consistent and heavy newer records. I think it's the mixing. I interviewed them a while. I interviewed Bjorn a few times, and I interviewed Anders Fridden a while back, and he was like, we sound the same in the studio. It's just how the albums are mixed that they're softer or whatever. And I was like, really though? Is it though? Okay. Released this week in 1982, Metal Massacre, which featured Slayer and Metallica, Bitch, and just the first release on Metal Blade Records. I have the reissue from a couple of years ago. I absolutely love this thing. It's definitely worth for your history. If you find one of the newer ones, it sounds great and it's dope. It came in a bunch of vinyl variants. and I have one. And I think I ended up accidentally ordering 2, and I gave one to my podcast guest co-host, Nick Cameron. So once again, thanks for everybody that's watching on the good old Tick of the Talk, on YouTube, on Gram. Thanks everybody for being here. If you're re-listening to this later on podcasts, that's cool too. Always give us please give us a review or something. Some other albums that were released this week in metal history: Nuclear Assault, Survive. This is a record I listened to quite a bit on tape in high school. Q is here, the awesome power of the Q. I don't know if you were ever a Star Trek Next Generation fan, Q, but yes, the Q has you. Resistance is futile. Fat Andy, do I have a... Fat Andy, I do have a permit for this distinguished beard, and I use Fable Beard products. And if you check out our link tree or our links in the description, you too can have a dope beard and smell good like me. Went to Milwaukee Metal Fest last week, and I want to say it was like one of the best smelling... There was a joke they had going that it was one of the best smelling metal festivals, but it actually really, very, very few bad BO people. Maybe a couple of crotch rotters and things like people that don't know how to wash their ass correctly, as usual. But I know metalheads get a bad break. Oh, clean shaven, but okay, appreciate it. Thank you, Fat Andy. I appreciate you. And then Witchfucker. You'll have to check out my band that's dropping an album this year. Well, that's the way to do it, Witchfucker, because so many people, I have a long history. I played music for a long time. I've worked in music marketing. I've consulted and been hired by bands. I used to teach and train bands. I probably will bring this content back for free at some point, and maybe some payments. But I will say that like so many bands are like, hey, we just put our album out. Can you help us and promote it? I really can't, because the amount of stuff coming out constantly is overwhelming. I love to help. I want to help, but we don't have the bandwidth. So the best way for us to help you is to tell us ahead of time, our record's coming out eventually, soon, in a few months, 3 months, 6 months. Give us an idea. Witchfucker, if you're still, DM me, and I will check out your stuff anyway. But DM me. Paradise Lost and their 19,000 albums in their career. Draconian Times. This one's a banger. That's a running joke on the Glacially Musical podcast about Paradise Lost, putting on so many albums. And I even joked about it when I interviewed old Nick recently. Not rock or metal, or kind of rock, but The Smiths, The Queen is Dead, a classic album featuring a horrendous person, Morrissey. Good Lord. But what a fucking banger album. I didn't appreciate them as much as I should have when I was younger, but like as I get older, man, these songs hit. The Big Four, the very first Big Four. I always felt this was oversold. The Big Four, the first time ever. It's not the first time ever because all the bands had been on festivals together, but they had never been on the same festival in a row. So Sonosphere in Warsaw, Poland, the motherland for me a little bit. And that was the first Big Four show in history. And then they did Indio the next year, and then in September will be the 15th anniversary of the Big Four in Yankee Stadium in New York City, where I went to. So maybe I'll do a big live stream review of that show because it was hella interesting. Okay, great show. Is that Mastodon and Behemoth opened for Metallica, Slayer, Megadeth, and Anthrax? Oh my God, what a lineup that is! I'd pay anything to go back in time for that. So I threatened you with some knowledge about tipping. We have a price menu. We will always answer your questions for free. If you want to give us some general support, you can tip us $3. You can buy us a coffee on Ko-fi for $6. I will review your song for $25, or if you want to be a real one, as I call you. Obviously not my everydayers and my staff and teams. And anybody, thanks to Witchfucker for following. Anybody that follows us, I usually follow you back if you have a music-related account, metal or otherwise. Funeral Witchery, sick. Streaming some singles and have a music video out. That is killer. I love the name. And I will follow you back after the show. And also, again, we will do music business consulting calls. If you need help with your release schedule, your social media, your marketing, your email, I'm that guy. I am 100% that dude. Most of the people who do music marketing, especially for metal, I have to be honest, are complete bullshit. You've seen some of them on these channels with a cigar and rings and the fucking Wella Balsam hair or whatever the fuck. And the guy who wears the microphone on his hat and is yelling at you constantly and just spouting out bullshit that isn't real in terms of really helping your band. Those guys are phonies. I am the real deal. If you want to hire me, DM me. Nice. Let me know what label it is. Yeah, man. Let me know what label it is. All right, there's our Cash App. All right. Now it's time for the features. Here's some shit we've been doing if you want to check it out. We had a special guest post this week from punk artist Betty Moon. Betty Moon has been around since the 90s. She's also composed music for television and films, but she's got a new EP out, and she's a huge grunge fan as much as she's a punk rocker. And so she did a list of the 10, in her opinion, the 10 most underrated grunge songs. I don't even really love grunge, but it's a pretty interesting list. There's a couple of popular bands on there, and then a bunch of underground bands and bands that were just short of making it. And speaking of grunge, we have a pretty major thing happening next week, but I can't talk about it now. But there's a pretty major grunge-related artist I got to interview on our other podcast. But anyway, I did a live stream last night, if you saw it, or earlier this morning. Faith No More is back. I will talk more about this in a few, but we did a whole deep dive on their career and what this comeback means and if they will do new music or not. So do check it out when you're done watching this. New interviews this week on YouTube and our podcast. What if you liked tribute bands and your favorite tribute band that covered your favorite band started to make their own original music that sounds like that band? Well, that's Floyd Nation. And I interviewed Will Kaiser of Floyd Nation. He's one of the leaders of the band. They went to Abbey Road Studios. They covered Wish You Were Here, the album, and then put up 3 more songs. And I was just fascinated by these guys. Their new album drops this week. And get ready for it. It's killer. Also, Held, if you're a fan of post-hardcore, the band The Sleeping should be on your radar. The Held is 2 members of The Sleeping, along with drummer Josh Eppard from Coheed and Cambria, upstate New York, represent what up. And a really fun interview with Doug Robinson of Held, a really smart band. And just very cool. Recently, I interviewed Devin Townsend. We have interviews with other members of our team, with Barney Greenway of Napalm Death. We interviewed Sun Don't Shine, which is members of Typo Negative and Crowbar and Down. So many killer things on the horizon. Stay tuned for a whole bunch of stuff dropping this summer. King Ultra Mega is the Soundgarden tribute to Chris Cornell and Soundgarden. And we had a recent interview with Mark Mengi, who's also the founder of Metal Allegiance, and Bron Dollar of Mastodon. It's my first time. I've met all the Masto dudes, and I met Brett, and I liked him. Rest in power. But this was my first time interviewing Bron, and I deeply hope I get to talk to them when that record drops. I know we're not the biggest website, but we are pretty big. Also, my other podcast is the Glacially Musical Podcast, Beer, Metal, Swearing. Sometimes we talk about hockey. Sometimes we talk about Kevin Smith movies and Star Wars and all kinds of shit. We are in the middle of a new series on Deicide. We have a Chaser episode coming out next week that is top secret, but do check out our current series on Deicide if you are an old school death metal head. And these are hilarious covers that features our co-host Nick. Also, this show is a podcast. We have a podcast called the Glacially Musical Podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. Oh, I'm sorry, not Glacially Musical, Ghost Call. I don't know what I'm talking about. I didn't sleep too much last night. I need a whole good night's sleep soon. But anyway, Glacially Musical, Ghost Cult. Not the same thing, but one is under the umbrella of the other. Once again, which fucker just found out? We get asked all the time. I don't think enough of our brethren and sister sites out there do enough promotion for underground bands. There are some strictly underground metal blogs and vlogs and content makers and creators, I suppose. But if you follow us on Instagram and follow us on YouTube, subscribe to us on YouTube specifically, and screenshot it and DM us, you can get your band a mention in our interview videos on YouTube, which are our most seen content. So I do sincerely hope people eventually do that. and check us out. I'll make some new teasers for this across the socials because I think people are forgetting that we've been doing this since the plague. All right. And now it's time for the news rundown. And as always, we start with metal festivals. I'll embiggen this here on StreamYard so anybody except you TikTokers can see the whole thing of festival posters. This is pretty cool. This festival is this weekend. There's a bunch of stuff going on this weekend. This is in the Pacific Northwest. Cascadian Midsummer, Blood of the Earth Festival, Emma Ruth Rundle, One of Nine, Stygian Bow, which is Bell Witch and Aerial Ruin. We interviewed them recently. Fauna, November 3, Fogweaver, John from Agalock, who I just saw in Milwaukee twice. Hail Solace, Blessed Blood, Glasgow, Precious Bane, Ash Pillar, Phosphine, Sorcia. I mean, so many killer underground bands. And Ember Vale, that's a killer band. Iron Rock, DJ Space Coyote, and much more. That's starting tomorrow at Red Hawk Avalon. Very, very cool. I believe it is near Seattle. Riot Fest has dropped their single day lineups and running order. We don't have the times yet, but we know who's playing what day. So the 20th anniversary of Riot Fest, we will undoubtedly try to cover this again. We've covered a bunch of them. Not all 20 of them, but maybe a bunch of them. Blink-182, Weird Al Yankovic, Alkaline Trio, Rilo Kiley, Knock Loose, The Pogues. So strange to see the Pogues touring without Shane. Census Fail, Stiff Little Fingers, Shudder to Think, Touche Amore. We recently interviewed Craig of Shudder to Think also about his solo music. Agnostic Front, Puddles Pill Party, that's Max Sabbath, Sam I Am, Emo Phillips, Barbarians of California, Big Ass Truck, Shonen Knife. That's a lot of fun for Friday. Saturday is Weezer, Sex Pistols featuring Frank Carter, All Time Low, The Beach Boys, Jack White, Dropkick Murphys, The Front Bottoms, Knuckle Puck, James, that's killer. I saw them at Lollapalooza in 1996. The Bouncing Souls, The Damned, who I believe are on their farewell final tour. Buzzcock, Superchunk, Military Gun, Helmet, Awesome, Marky Ramone playing the Ramones. Throne, who I just saw, H2O, Speed of Light, Killer Teenage Band, Girl in a Coma, Agent Orange, no, Lawsuit, Offspring. Anyway, I love Offspring, but damn. And then Sunday, closing with Green Day, Idols, Jawbreaker, love them, Bad Religion, and Hanson for some reason, Jesus. Microwave, killer band from Chicago. Peg Boy, the Lindas, the Ataris, Lambrini Girls, CUNT. Smoking Popes, Delta Sleep, Effigy, Zero Boys Paradox, and more. So a little less hardcore and metal than last year's lineup, but if you love punk and alternative rock, this is your festival. Nemerchine's the worst and easiest way. Melfeast, what's up? Gotcha. All right. Lemmy Forever. This is going on. Lemmy's ashes were scattered at Download. Of course, we know there's a humongous. Oh, nice, Mal. There's a humongous Lemmy statue at Hellfest in France. And so Duff McKagan, I think the video came out today of him placing Lemmy's ashes. And then they were brought over to I think it's the Odeon in London. And this is a photo of some Lemmy memorabilia, Lemmyabilia, if you will. Be awesome always. I like it. Be excellent to each other. That's what Rufus taught me in the very first Bill and Ted movie. Hellfest is this weekend. Already kicked off today. Metallica, Iron Maiden, Slipknot, Chili Peppers, Green Day, Gojira, Offspring, Deftones, Nirvana featuring Post Malone, Iggy Pop and Evanescence, Slayer, Dark Tranquillity, Loud Blast, Fulci, amazing. We love the Italian death metal. Dimmu Borgir, Powerwolf, Thou, fuck yeah. More Thou news in a second. No One Is Innocent. Yeah, this is insane. This weekend is insane. Slayer, Dark Tranquillity, Loud Blast, I mentioned them. Obituary, who I just saw, Dark Tranquillity, Dimmu Borgir, Acid Bath, Wasp, Arch Enemy, Saxon, Megadeth, Halloween, High Lung, Ailstorm, Corpiclani, Epica, Hailstorm, Doro, Rock, Doro, we love you so much. Blaze Bailey, who I really love to interview sometime. And Phil, I guess not Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons because he passed away. But maybe the best is yeah, I get it. I love that he loves the heavy metal and the grunge and the hardcore and the metalcore. It's a good thing he didn't make it in metalcore when he had a metalcore and a deathcore band. But yeah, he's finding out the hard way that his fan base is not forever. Then Hellfest dropped this huge Ozzy statue, and I really don't love to, I have my issues with Sharon, but I'm going to share this screen so everybody, if you're watching, except you guys on TikTok again, sorry, you can go to her socials if you want to give her a view, but I'm going to share this Ozzy video because I think it's worth sharing, and hopefully I don't get flagged because I'm sure it's on other things. Let's see, is this the one? No, it's this one. There we go. Let's just show a little bit of this video here. Let's see if I get the sound. I probably can't get the sound, but much as I can get away with before I get killed. But it's pretty nice. It's like a 15-foot statue of Ozzy at Hellfest. And so now Lemmy and Ozzy will have the permanent statues at Hellfest, and perhaps Dio will be next. That's who I would put up next, or maybe Chris Cornell or Lane Staley. So let's see. Let's get back to our deck. Boom, 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 boom. San Francisco going to San Francisco right behind me. What's up, Scott L? Okay, so here's the Hellfest. Grass Pop Metal Meeting is also this weekend, started tonight with the Offspring, Limp Bizkit, Megadeth, Anthrax, Dillinger Escape Plan, more about them in a minute, President, Pennywise, Cult of Luna, oh my god, Windrose, A Day to Remember, Within Temptation. Tomorrow is Volbeat, Alter Bridge, Sex Pistols, Cavalera playing all of Chaos AD, Knock Loose, Orf, Trivium, Wolf Van Halen's Mammoth, Death to All, Lionheart, Kubla Khan, Leprous, Cadaver, Kubla Khan, good band to watch live. Don't please shut up with your cop brocore. Bring Me the Horizon, Architects, Ice Nine Kills, Bad Omens, Baby Metal, Sepultura, playing on the opposite day of the Cavalera, 6 Feet Under, Moonspell, Avatar, Queensryche, and more on Saturday. And then Sunday, closing it out with Sabaton, Electric, Callboy, Black Label Society, Extreme, Def Leppard, Alice Cooper, Foreigner, Europe, Mastodon, Venom, I'm not sure which one because there are 3 of them, The Plot in You, Carpenter Brute, and Solstafir. Nice. Hellfest America, not the Hellfest in France, but Hellfest has moved venues. They're now playing at Maggie's Fairgrounds in Lakewood, New Jersey. I don't want to be on Maggie's farm, right? I don't want to work on Maggie's Fairgrounds. But July 3rd, 4th, and 5th in Lakewood, New Jersey, headlined by Hatebreed, playing all of Satisfaction is the Death of Desire, and Under the Knife. Holy shit. Take me back to 1997 and 8. Suicide Silence, Glassjaw, VOD, Terror, First Blood, Haywire, Turmoil, Recon, Bleeding Through, The Homies, 100 Demons, Koyo, Shattered Realm, Old Wounds, Snuffed on Sight, Harvest. So this is a big punchy hardcore festival, and it's for you if that's your jam. We've been hearing a lot about Coal Chamber and why they dropped off Louder Than Life, and we knew earlier in the year Mikey Bug from Coal Chamber had been battling cancer, and now he's set to have a cancer surgery soon, and that's why they dropped off and canceled potential tours. And I just wanted to send a shout out to Mikey. He's been a supporter of Ghost Cult. We've been fans and supporters of Coal Chamber. Thanks for liking the live. I really appreciate you for liking the live. Ghost in Me, Sorry, I was like in Me, West Virginia. Sorry about that. Lily Gillen is here. Thanks for liking the live. I appreciate you. Anybody who subscribes to us during the live on any of these networks, I will follow you back when we're off the air. All right. Bum fights happening in the hole in the alley behind my house. I'm only here one more week. Holy shit. Anyway, Barcelona Rockfest, or Barcelona. Vicky Cristina Barcelona, if you please. Rockfest Barcelona Megadeth, their 10th edition. Sex Pistols featuring Frank Carter. Loudness, Gotthard, Psycheto, Blues Pills, Pretty Babe, Starface, Halloween, Accept, Sabaton, Testament, Primal Fear, Napalm Death, Bleed From Within, Tankard, High Raise. These are all killer bands. TNT, Offspring, Powerwolf, Bad Religion, Breaking Benjamin, Steel Panther, Again Cabalera, Chevelle, Orden Ogan, who we interviewed not too long ago, and a few more locals. So that looks fun. I gotta get someday Barcelona, someday. Incarceration Fest is right around the corner in mid-July. We haven't covered it lately, but we have covered it in the past. This looks killer, and I just wanted to highlight Disturbed, Papa Roach, Cypress Hill, Hollywood Undead, Starset, Tech 9, Ginger, Memphis May Fire, Rev Theory, Nice, Dead, Entheos, Bad Omens, Gojira, The Used, Sleeping with Sirens, Machine Head, Poppy. We have some Poppy news coming up again soon. Hatebreed, Sleep Theory, Lacuna Coil, Landmarks, Caskets, Spite, A Day to Remember, Motionless and White, Limp Bizkit, Ice Nine Kills, and more. And they have a humongous tattoo artist, like humongous. Jen City Arroyo, friend of the show. Caleb Neff, Brian Adamson, Matt Helton. These are legends. So get yourself to, and it's in the Shawshank Redemption prison. And they have haunted ghost and jail tours. I want to go to this. I just feel like Ohio in mid-July is going to kill me right now. I got to lose about 50 pounds and be in a lot better shape. But I'm getting there eventually. All right. Armstrong Metal Fest is also in mid-July. Ghost Cult's logo is very tiny, but at the bottom on this flyer, we are a media partner of the fest. Havoc, Born of Osiris, Glyph, Riot City, Atavistia, Convictions, and many more. So this looks killer in Armstrong, British Columbia, Canada. Rocklahoma, again, is one of your few opportunities to see Slayer this year play the Rain and Blood set. They're also going to do 3 more shows as headliners. Godsmack, Papa Roach, STP, Cypress Hill, Black Label Society, Hollywood Undead. You're seeing a theme, right? Dropkick Murphys, Pretty Reckless, Pennywise, ICP, Suicidal, who I just saw, Black Veil Brides, Jet, Crossfade, Buckcherry, Slaughter. Dude, I love fucking Slaughter. Wolf Mother, rarely tours the U.S. Nice. Living Color, still killer. Ugly Kid Joe, still killer. President, I don't get it. Blackstone Cherry, Military Gun, Paris Jackson for some reason, and more. She does have a good voice. Paris Jackson at Rocklahoma, but okay. Saddest Day Fest, Converge's now annual festival, is going to announce a future co-headliner, but taking place December 12th and 13th at Roadrunner in Boston, Roadrunner the club. Converge, to be determined, 2 special guests, Caven, Emma Ruth Rundle, Pigpen, featuring Maddie Matheson of The Bear, and food content and chefing in Toronto. Def Club, Final Gasp, Chat Pile, Baroness, Agriculture, Reversal of Man Habak, and Fuming Mouth from New Hampshire. Fucking killer. Be fun if that to be announced, one of those to be announced bands was Neurosis. That would be sick. But I think they're waiting to play their first show before they announce any more shows. Levitation Fest has announced its final headliner. On your right, everybody except TikTok, you can see the poster with the question marks, and there's a few other bands that just got announced. Kailisa was announced as one of the lower rung bands on the 3rd day of the festival, and Sleep was announced as the headliner along with Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats on the final day of the festival. And I have some more and troubling Sleep news coming up soon. Things I did not think I was going to have to report, but I have to. Shout out again to everybody watching on TikTok and on YouTube. Thank you so much. Welcome to Rockville announced their dates for 2027, May 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th, for people who love that festival in Daytona Beach. And there are early bird tickets on sale right now. I know some people do buy those Danny Wimmer Festival tickets before they actually announce the lineup. So there you go. All right, that was all the festivals. Now let's jump into tour dates. There's a lot of them because, again, last week's show was Fubar. Metallica, as I mentioned, played in France tonight, but they're in Dublin tomorrow night and Sunday. So tonight is one of their few back-to-backs on the whole tour. It'd be interesting to see their next to last no-repeat weekend of the summer tour, with support from Gojira and Knocked Loose tomorrow night, and Pantera and Avatar on Sunday. Excellent for them. They will close it out with Cardiff, Wales, Glasgow, and London. And that's it. Metallica basically playing every other few days, with a couple of days off in between. Faith No More. This is the news that broke the internet and my live stream last night. Faith No More has confirmed they are reuniting for a tour in 2027. I don't expect it to be much more than a tour for a variety of reasons. You can watch my recent live stream or listen to the podcast. I love this photo of them with the Gimp dude in the tuxedos with the champagne glasses. I know Mike is sober now. For the people fighting it out still on our Facebook feed and other places, you are idiots. The global booking agency is a global booking agency, 30E. They have System of a Down, they have Slipknot, they have many bands as their main booker. And that is confirmation enough that they are routing an entire tour. If that wasn't good enough, all the members of Faith No More, including Mike Patton, then shared it on their socials. And then Billy is in Europe promoting his new brandy, Baba Yaga or something, Yerbiga, which is plum brandy that's very specifically Serbian. And I don't know that Billy is a Serbian background person, but because people ask him all the time, like, why is an American promoting this Serbian drink? But he loves Serbia. And it's like the one country in Eastern Europe I don't have a lineage to. But anyway, so Billy gave a wide-ranging interview to a friend of his who's a music promoter and journalist, and basically detailed everything, not just talking about Faith No More, but talked about his brand and all these other things. He is like, I highly doubt we will ever make another album because every album we've ever made has been hell for me and I don't want to do it again. And then also, but at the same time, we will definitely tour. They're going to announce tour dates soon, probably locking it down now. Most likely, I'm guessing South and Central America and Mexico in the early part of the year. Take a break, maybe do some of the Danny Wimmer festivals or big festivals. Absolutely do every European festival next summer as a headliner, and then probably Central Europe and the rest of Europe in the fall. So it sounds like we're going to first get just the same way they did it the last time. South America, Europe, and then the US in spots. I would not be surprised to see them headline every major festival next year. And we already know that Riot Fest and Aftershock and Sonic Temple, they all love Faith No More and their related bands. Danzig has finally announced his full tour routing for his upcoming tour and announced the openers, Twin Temple and Anna. I do like the Ouroboros because I would like to get a tattoo of that in the Anna logo. I don't know much about their band, but it's cool to see Danzig still supporting Twin Temple and Burning Witches. And then he said we're going to have a special show in Anaheim at the Honda Center, excuse me. Fonda's the theater. And that turned out to be this show, this standalone arena show, Acid Bath, Twin Temple, Burning Witches in Anna at the venue on Saturday the 26th, which I have some interesting Acid Bath news coming up in a minute. They did just book a New York show with Obituary and Thou, which I'm very excited about because I love Thou. One of the coolest bands, Planet Rockin'. What up, what up? Mastodon tickets are on sale now with their big headline tour with Deaf Heaven and Alcest for the fall. I do believe we will get an album announcement before long. Don't know if they're going to just rush it out like they did the last time with like 6 weeks to drop it, or if they're going to actually put it out. Yeah, maybe it's Danzig and the Misfits. Headsock. I don't know. I think that would be cool. I know there was some brouhaha a while back that last Misfit show was the last one. I could see Danzig maybe do a Misfit set to close that tour out. He hates touring. Any one of these tours, I know, like to call 7 or 8 a festival in 7 days, a tour, but to Danzig, that is a tour because he hates touring that much. I'd love to see him do one more run of Misfits things. I'm really, yeah, I also love both. I'm really surprised that Misfits didn't take more advantage. I mean, they must hate, like, I don't know what you hate more, touring or money, because Misfits could headline every country in the world in an arena or a stadium in Europe, for sure. Even in this environment with Blue Dot Fever and things like that we talk about just about every week. I brought this up last week. Transformers the movie is doing a sort of brief mini tour with Knights of Unicron. There's a Transformers metal album coming out from the people who brought you Cold Slither last year and Gem and the Holograms. They are playing at the House of Blues San Diego, which during San Diego Comic-Con this summer. And I wanted to mention, it was a tweet that came by, not metal, not really hard rock, but there was a band from the 90s that I really loved from Boston before I lived there called Letters to Cleo. And Kay Hanley is the front person and the leader of that group. And she's written stuff for TV, got a children's book. And so she was the musical artist behind the Gem and the Holograms movie from 2000. And it's pretty campy and bad for a major label, major studio out movie. But like, people love the nostalgia. Apparently, the producers of the movie never filed the copyrights and the rights notices. So she has never been paid for that. And she cannot get paid for that. And apparently she found out recently, she was like, I wonder why I never got paid for that thing. And they're like, yeah, they never filed your paperwork. And the statute or whatever that is expires after like 2 years. So I retweeted her tweet about this to Ben Keller. This is why this is relevant to our show, of Converge, who has a new foundation, a .org, where he's trying to get artists properly paid for all their money. So for all their royalties. So you check that out. Yep. I like it, man. I love me some Misfits and I love Danzig. Hey Breed will kick off the summer, already kicked off the Summer Slaughter tour, I believe, with Devourment and Incantation on every show. Say what you will, Jamie Josta is the real MVP of this whole year, bringing back Milwaukee Metal Fest the last 3 years and now Summer Slaughter. You can never have, you're never going to go back in a time machine to 2007 like I did, and Summer Slaughter was like Cannibal Corpse, Necrophagus, Cattle Decapitation, Jump for a Cowboy. It was insane. And I went to 3 of those shows. I went around the country to see Necrophagus 3 times, and I just recently got Epitaph on vinyl. I'm so stoked. The repress. You're never getting it back, but like to just have this tour as a thing is positive. It's progress. Let's just take it for what it is. So Dillinger Escape Plan has been threatening for a while that soon they will play their very last show of the Calculating Infinity reunion tour. But now they have done it. Now you've done it, Ben Weinman. When he's not busy with Suicidal Tendencies and all these guys are busy with other bands, they have announced the final that Headbangers Boat and maybe a couple of shows in Florida and somewhere else are the last shows. They are heading over to Europe, and then this fall they're done. And I don't know if that means something else, if they're going to just go away and do something else, but kind of cool. Gwar has announced an additional bunch of tour dates around Louder Than Life and Riot Fest with support from Weed Eater and Brat. Super cool to see Gwar continuing to take out cool bands, both a legacy band and an up-and-coming band. It almost makes too much sense. It's so killer. Here's another one. Born of Osiris has booked a tour also around Louder Than Life. Those guys are going to be playing some dates. I'm pretty excited about that. I Declare War has some dates coming up on the West Coast. I'm not sure if it's going to be an anniversary show. I just thought this poster was so rad I had to share it. Testament will be playing in Mexico this fall on their Latin American tour, and I just wanted to highlight this with special guest Municipal Waste and Immolation. Absolutely killer. Municipal Waste, I thought, was kind of on hiatus since Iron Reagan is back, who I just saw. I think I just saw them play their 3rd or 4th show back. Liquid Death. All right. Again, Acid Bath, I was surprised they canceled their own headline show in the LA area to do the Danzig show. I know a lot of people are mad about that, but you'll get a refund and then you can go see Danzig, I think. And again, they announced that tour. I just saw them. It was a life changer. More in my review coming soon. Would you like to see me review Milwaukee Metal Fest as a live stream? It's definitely going to be a review on our website at ghostcultmag.com. So, check it out. This one kind of also surprised me. Of Mice and Men have a bunch of festivals and things coming up soon, so they booked some new tour dates. Gouge Away has a brand new song out, and they added some stuff to their summer tour. Extra dates keep opening up for them. Killer band. I would really love to talk to them and interview them someday. Love the Jesus Lizard shirt on this guy in the band, by the way. Beast, who we interviewed last fall, are finally headlining the Colossal Tour with Detonate. What a terrible name. But Beast is killer from Denmark, or Based, however you want to pronounce it. Great band, one of the best death metal albums of last year. I have Minerva's here. What up? All right. We are plugging away. Stay patient. That's the halfway point of the show, at least. Just a few words from our affiliate partners. Somebody shouted out my awesome beard at the start of the show. That's because of Fable Beard. I smell good, and I look good, and I feel good because of Fable Beard. Sign up with our link in the description for $10 off your first order if you're a bearded person. I don't know, under the sock, under the mask, under the head sock, are you a bearded fellow or not? I thought I saw some dreads. But yeah. Lamb Goat, the much more meaner and evil version of Ghost Cult, are friends of ours. We are part of their media network. When you see ads on our website, that is from Lamb Goat. They definitely do a hell of a job supporting and promoting underground artists. Also, again, we could not be in business without the awesome Craig Caruso of Caruso Apps, WordPress developer, digital strategist. He can make you an app. He can fix your broken website. He can get you out of ISP jail, all these things. DM me for Craig's info if you want an introduction to get some services from Craig. And he's also very reasonably priced compared to most people. And then once again, except for you guys on TikTok, everybody is watching this via the miracle of StreamYard. StreamYard, your one-stop source for streaming on all your socials, pulling in all your comments. I got a second camera angle I'm going to have later for the vinyl unboxing I'm going to do from the Metalhead box. Really cool stuff. Check out StreamYard. My fiance, if you're still watching, Aliens? No, me. So sad. I love X-Files. I'm very excited about the Ryan Coogler reboot of my favorite show ever. Some shows don't need to be remade. X-Files could stand to get a remake. Crowboo band is here. Not Crowbot, but Crowboo. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. All right. Okay. Get the Reload out. Metallica is doing another one of their, we're celebrating the Reload box set that I believe hits streaming next week. You can buy the physical now. I don't need the Load or Reload deluxe editions. I really should have bought that Master of Puppets one when I had the money. It's like $800 right now on eBay. If I could ever find a reasonable copy of it, I would get one. Or if they ever repress it, maybe when the band is retired, they'll redo all these big boxes. Maybe they won't. They are inviting people to cover Low Man's Lyric, a song I never need to hear ever again. Honestly, half of Reload is terrible and half of it is great. So yeah, get the Reload out. I don't need to, but you do. You do you, boo. Banana Gate continues. I don't know if you're soft and stupid, but end it. If you don't know the story, we've had a rash of people getting crowd killed at shows. People show up to shows. I went to Milwaukee Metal Fest. Belushi Speedball threw out pool noodles and Santa hats. There was a chick in a Pikachu outfit. She looked like she was going to die from the heat. Year and a half ago, somebody was at a hardcore show in Florida wearing a horsey mask, and somebody punched him right in the eye. We've had people, a close friend of mine just got sucker punched at a show. I should definitely have thrown that picture of that guy up. That guy is blacklisted from the whole Bay Area now. So fuck that guy. Get well soon, Tony Kelman, friend of the show. But Banana Gate continues. End it. The brutal deathcore, hardcore band, death metal band, you know, had a fan at their show in a banana suit, and they instructed the crowd to like strip that person and pummel them. Now, the banana suit guy finally went public and said, "Hey, if they had like if they had just ripped the suit off me and hadn't hurt me or made me a part of it, I would have been all into it because I'm here for shits and giggles." But like the violence thrown onto this fan is fucking stupid. And this is one of your fans. So like it's so hard to tour. It's so hard. If you don't give a shit about your fans, you're showing us, right? I think Endit's a killer band. Will Putney is in that band. We've covered the band. We've reviewed their stuff. And I like the band. But like they have bitched up as much as they were saying like everybody's hardcore show. What do you fucking expect? Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Yeah, you know what? Endit did is they got off. They were getting so killed on social media. They shut down their Facebook page and clammed up some of their other things and are deleting comments. I think Danzig does that, bro. Danzig deletes comments he doesn't like. You're Endit. You're not supposed to be like that. Treat your fans better. I don't think the bands owe you anything, by the way. They definitely owe you a safe show, and they definitely owe you a comfortable environment to enjoy your rock and metal. But they surely should treat you better if you're a fan. If this person went there as a fan, bought a ticket, and then was beat the shit out of and had his costume ripped off him. Beside the fact, all kinds of weird non-consent shit that I'm all against. So, it's a hardcore show. What do you expect? I expect decorum. I don't expect good-smelling people, but I expect not to get some motherfuckery happen to a fan that paid to get in. You get me? All right, soapbox off. More news. Dime Guitars has launched from the estate of Dimebag Darrell in Dime We Trust, and Dean Zelensky, the original creator, owner, and designer of the Dean guitars that Dimebag was so well known for. This is not even a whole full week after they lost the majority of their lawsuit against the current owner of Dean Guitars for copyright infringement and theft of designs. Super interesting. You saw Fender recently is trying to sue everybody out of existence that has a Fender body shape. It's like fucking stupid. They've been getting killed on social media. They lost a lot of their credibility as a company. And let's face it, it's not like the Fender family anymore. It's some fucking, corporate junk bond company, some hedge fund fuckers like Guitar Center and Bain Capital. But very interesting. Dime Guitars with a Z for Zelensky. Very interested to see what they do. They already shared their first few designs. Guitars are being made now. Poppy put out a new music video today and has a huge headline tour coming up all over the world. I'm super stoked for it. We will hopefully get to cover them. GG Fan is here, a real one. A Ghost Cult real one. Thanks for being here, GG Fan. We love seeing you in the comments. Korn is in a bit of trouble. The god of Korn taketh, and the god of Korn giveth away or taketh away. Korn is doing an anniversary plushy keychain Labubu thing, which I'm not crazy about, to celebrate Issues, which was one of their best albums, their fourth album from, I believe, 2001, so 25 years this year. And they were doing limited edition plushy keychains of the designs that didn't get to be the original, like, ragdoll on the cover. But what happened is for their marketing and advertising of it, they used AI, like really bad AI imagery and product pictures and boxes. So, holy fucking shit, bro. Don't do that. Just don't. You're Korn. You are on a huge record label. You have a whole staff that does marketing materials for you and graphic design. Just do it yourself. Don't cut corners, you guys. Come on. You're better than this, I think. Princess Goes is the band led by Michael C. Hall of Dexter. I don't know if you know that he has a rock band that kind of sounds like David Bowie, electronic, industrial, things he likes, like Nine Inch Nails and Bowie 90s music. And it's also got members of the last touring incarnation of Blondie, as well as the Wallflowers. And they have a brand new single and music video out. And they will play some select shows coming soon. Would love to go cover them sometimes. I'd love to go interview Michael about music. And I could keep it to mostly music. Dexter's latest stuff has been all right. But, he's brilliant and has been brilliant. He's done a lot of Broadway. He's a great singer. Here is U.S. Bastards featuring former member of Gore, Brent Purgeson. They have a brand new album coming out this week, including some covers. They just put out a cover of Heading Out to the Highway by Judas Priest, mofos. So a killer hard rock band, kind of a Motorheady type band. Very cool. Burial for the Living is a brand new band from my hometown of the Bronx, New York. My homie, Dennis Lars Torrent, is in the band as the bassist, and they dropped a brand new single called Savage, which features Bronx legend Martin Gonzalez from bands like Billy Club Sandwich and Brass Knuckle Brigade. Shout out to my Bronx homies. I saw Dennis in January when I was in Anaheim for the Metal Allegiance festival and concert, and he was there for NAMM because he's an endorsed artist for FM Guitars. We are at the 1 hour mark as TikTok's trying to kick me out, but I'm good. Sad Albatross 154. I hope that's a Corrosion Conformity reference, but I'm stoked about this Burial for the Living band, and hopefully we'll do some press with them. Holder has announced a brand new album and dropped a brand new single. The very grim, modern U.S. black metal band. There's very few U.S. black metal bands with women in them. Holder is sick. I saw them a couple of years ago with Necrofire in a tiny room in Oakland. I thought I was going to pass out from the heat. Great band, though. Summoning the Fires of Hell. This is a sort of quasi supergroup made up of current members of Taking Back Sunday. They dropped some new music, pretty fun and cool. This is the thing I didn't want to talk about this. Oh my God. Human Missile Crisis. What up? Thanks for watching. Sleep. So Sleep put out their first new song today in a long time. And we had heard a rumbling, an unconfirmed rumor that Matt Pike was quitting Sleep or departed Sleep. And so this is Sleep without Matt Pike for the first time ever. I am not okay with this. I understand that like Jason Roeder is busy with neurosis or neurisis, as we called them in our interview, or someone was calling them online. So, of course, they got Dale Crover from Melvins, who is very busy with touring and albums and things. I wouldn't be surprised if Melvins put out one more album this year for the two they already have. But, man, I just don't know about Sleep without Pike. I love Sleep. I have almost more Sleep records than any other band, including Tool and Metallica and Alice in Chains and Black Sabbath. And like, I have a Sleep box set. I have multiple editions of Dope Smoker on vinyl, CD, and tape. And they got the guitar player from Have Space Shoot Will Travel is the name of the song. And it's basically Al leading the band, Alice's Neuros, who's a hero of mine. Bubba Dupree, who people know from, Void. And also, I think he was in solo band for Josh Homme and things like that. Bubba's a great guitar player, right? And if you're going to have to replace Pike, you need a killer guitar player to replace Pike. But it's just like Pike without Sleep. High on Fire is as big as they are ever been or have ever been with their last bunch of records and their Grammy win and things like that. So I can understand him not wanting to do Sleep right now, or maybe like he wanted to do not do Sleep and they needed a break. I see that they also have a comic book. They announced some tour dates. This stuff is all sold out. I don't think I would be buying a $50 comic book from Sleep, although I love a lot of comic books about rockers. But yeah, just like, I listened to the song. It was kind of meh. I love Dale as a drummer. I love Dale Crover. I don't know how I feel about Sleep without Pike. I do know how I feel. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't fucking like it. Don't do it. Should call it something else. Okay. This is pretty fun. Somebody was like, bury me and cover my casket in a bunch of punk rock stickers. This thing is fucking rad. Take a look at this for a second. This is so awesome. Punk coffin goes viral. Fuck a Kiss coffin. Get my casket. I'm not going to get buried, but like maybe cremated. Maybe my urn can have a bunch of stickers on it. But yeah, wow, pretty cool. If you gotta go, go in style. I thought this was pretty fun. There's so much. North Sea Echoes, which is the progressive rock supergroup. How to Cast a Shadow is their new album coming out on Metal Blade. They have a new song and a video. If you're interested in such things, pretty damn cool. I think it's Arch and Matheos from Fate's Warning. This is hilariously funny. Motionless in White dropped a brand new song today, and called Rest in Peace, R.I.P., with Skylar Grey. And I read the headline in my email too fast, and I thought it was Sasha Grey. And I was like, oh, how interesting that Motionless in White is going to do a song with Sasha Grey, the porn star and mainstream actress and activist now. But Skylar Grey, if you know who Skylar Grey is, drop a comment. I don't quite know who she is. I know I'm supposed to know everything, but I don't. A new Motionless in White album coming soon. Vindicta, which is the band of all ex-Dogma members, dropped their first single today. And it seems like a call out to the person they were quitting the band over that caused all the problems with Dogma, but they are still kind of managed by one of those people. That make a lot of sense. I'm rooting for you girls, but Jesus. I don't know. Peter Frampton's documentary hit the Tribeca Film Festival this month, and it has now got I believe, a Los Angeles premiere at the TCL Chinese Theater, as well as a potential on-demand date. Tribeca Film Festival, I've covered it. I interviewed Ozzy Osbourne there in 2010, 2011. Pretty great stuff. I also met Jack at the time. We'll talk about Jack in a second. This is Insomnium, who is increasingly looking like Solstafir, aka Icelandic Thin Lizzy. Insomnium has a new song out today. They have some tour dates coming up. Great melodic death metal band, but not sure why this look from the band. Kind of weird. Machine Head. I got very excited about this. Machine Head, for the first time ever. I don't know if you guys are aware of Veeps, which is the video on demand platform. They have a lot of rock and metal. They have concerts, exclusive things, documentaries. And I believe it was founded by the Good Charlotte brothers. Is that the Maddens or I think. Anyway, Machine Head, The More Things Change, has never been on vinyl. An official vinyl edition is coming out. First time, includes bonus tracks, The Possibility of Life's Destruction, killer cover, My Misery from the Demon Knight soundtrack, oh my God, and their cover of Colors that even Ice-T said, yo, that was dope. I like that cover. That's my impression of Ice-T. I did meet him. One of my profile pictures is me and Ice. A lot of fun. But Machine Head, The More Things Change, the more they stay the same. Great fucking album. So Machine Head also at Milwaukee Metal Fest, they played 10 Ton Hammer, son. Just in a feel-good story of the week, Hard Lore podcast still mourning the death of Bo Luders recently. I wore my tribute shirt in Milwaukee all over the town. They did their first episode back. They're going to continue to try to do the pod. What's up, GG fan again? You're back in. And they interviewed a guy that I was a huge fan of growing up, Ray Campo of Shelter, from the hardcore scene. And Bo's bandmate from Harm's Way was the other co-host. So I think what you're going to see probably is guest hosts and guest hosts. So good on them. I'm pulling for you guys. John Sykes, the great Thin Lizzy and Blue Murder guitar player, died not that long ago. His farewell album, the album he was working on when he passed, is coming out soon, and the first single dropped from Golden Robot Records, Believe in Yourself. I have yet to hear it. It just dropped. I will hear it tonight. Very excited for John's great voice and lead guitar playing. Just what a tragic loss. I think he was 60-something when he died. Very sad. Speaking of Electric Callboy, who we mentioned earlier, their new album Tenzeit is coming out soon this summer from Century Media Records, and their pre-orders are on now, and they are also in the midst of a huge European summer tour of festivals and headline dates. They are fast becoming one of the biggest bands in hard music. This is really cool. Here's a label we do a lot of reviews of out of India. Transcending Obscurity Records signs a lot of underground bands, especially death metal, black metal, and grindcore. They are doing a pay what you want for the month of June on their Bandcamp. And I just thought, we do so many reviews from them. This is a really cool plug for them. And I like this label. I love dealing with them. We've done some premieres for them. We definitely love a majority of their catalog. If you like extreme metal, this is a label you want to know about among a bunch of others. What else? So Jack Osborne, man, another one. It's not quite the dumbass of the week, but look, I know that most of my heroes, most of the rock star people are insanely wealthy. Metallica, Ozzy's family, Red Hot Chili Peppers. I'm never surprised when these people don't align with me politically. I am, for the record, wearing a No Kings shirt from Kings Barcade in Raleigh, North Carolina, a place I had been a long time ago. Man, I don't care who Jack went to the UFC fight with his wife, and they were roasting him on his socials. So he made on his personal YouTube channel, and I assume his other socials, he made a whole 3.5-minute video addressing this. And fuck you, fan. You're not fans of mine. Sending him horrible comments and some, hey, your dad would be ashamed. I don't know. I think Ozzy was pretty conservative too, believe it or not. He might have had a liberal heart, but I think when you get to a certain amount of wealth, it just kind of shapes you politically. And both parties in America are horrible at their own thing, their own ways. And neither really represents me. I was traditionally a Democrat. I am a leftist. I don't care if you like that or not. I don't care that Jack went to the UFC thing. Oh my God, I'm not so, don't be so naive. We've had this discussion on a bunch of my shows. But also you calling out fans for shitting on you defensively is a little weird to me for a family that built a brand on keeping it real. But he's been apparently involved in martial arts and mixed martial arts his entire life. He apparently was a Thai kickboxer in his 20s before he became ill. And Dana White invited him. He doesn't care about Trump or whatever, orange guy bad, but it's very clear that Sharon, Amy, and Jack are pretty right wing. I don't care that they are. And that Kelly is apparently distancing herself from all that. But that doesn't matter to me. I'm not I don't separate the art from the artist, but at the same time, it's I expect you, if you have incredible wealth, I expect you to align yourself with brutalist political parties and societies and things that help you, like tax brackets and stuff. So, Jack, I love you, bro, but just kind of, just say you're at an 11 and I need you at an 8 or a 7 or a 6. So, I know no one wants to be attacked for showing up at a sporting event. It was a sporting event, he said over and over. But if you don't care, then don't make a video. If you do care, then address your fans a little more compassionately. Now for the dumbass of the week. I haven't done this in a few years. And it was a series of just fucking douchebags and dumbasses. This has got to be about the dumbest fucking thing I've heard in a long time. Fable Beard, a guy I used to really like, All That Remains, a band I used to really like, says that men don't need therapy or to talk about their feelings, and people who do are soft. Fable Beard, who is a veteran who should know firsthand about grief and anxiety and depression and the poor treatment of veterans in this country. Fable Beard, who has been in a band with multiple members with confirmed mental illness, including Ollie Herbert, who unalived himself. Epstein didn't kill himself. Ollie Herbert did. Please don't blame his wife for his death. That's insulting to people with mental illness and problems. I'm one of them. I'm so fucking punk rock as I have my pill case here with stickers on it and Conan and this auto sticker from this brand new Monolord hat. And some pretty fun stickers on the back. But, just what a fucking dick. Just, dude, shut the fuck up. Just make music. Your music's not as good as it used to be. And don't cover Garth Brooks songs if you're a metal band and you want to be taken seriously. It's okay to not. Oh, apparently I said unalive. Then my video has been restricted on Instagram, on TikTok. That's fine. Fuck you guys. Fucking stupid platforms. But yeah, man, these are things that need to be talked about. I am a huge advocate for mental health. I'm here because I tried to take the steps to take care of my problems. I'm by no means cured. I'm in therapy. I'm on a whole bunch of meds. I had a whole horrible last few months. Things are getting better now. I'm moving. I'm getting married. A lot of positive things are happening. But like, for you to be so fucking dumb when you've had mental illness around you for a somewhat smart guy, holy shit. Dumbass of the week, Phil Levante. Shut the fuck up about mental health. You want to talk about politics? You want to talk about firearms, Second Amendment rights, men's rights, manosphere bullshit, whatever you want to espouse, and your followers and fans like that, good for you. Don't talk about mental health, especially when you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Soapbox off. Again, for the third time this show. Sorry, everybody. All right. I'm going to take a breath. And then in my Bob Ross voice, now then, let's put a happy little path here for our friend Leatherface as he chases the girl out of the dungeon basement. All right. It is time for the New Music Friday. We have two sections of the show left, New Music Friday and the mailbag, and then we're out. So let us take a quick look at what new albums came out or are coming out this weekend. We do a preview every week on our website and our YouTube of the new music coming out. We try to support underground and commercially big bands at the same time. I'm going to run this through quickly. Band, album title, label, and maybe genre. So just enjoy this. If you got questions, pipe in and I'll comment on them in a second. M City White is here. Hey, Monolord Hat, thanks so much. Per, yeah, bro. He's touring with them now. Sleep Rules caught him once live. Yeah, I think Sleep Rules with Pike. I don't know how they're gonna. Dupree is a great guitarist, but what a fucking pain. Just like a fucking pain in my heart that Pike is not in Sleep. To hear riffs in Sleep that he didn't help do. I love Al, but he's notoriously wacko. When Wino says you're kind of a whack job, you're a fucking whack job. High on Fire is going to continue to tour, and again, they're doing as big as ever. Anyway, and DIY bands, get it in front of us ahead of time for your next release, and you can get on this list every week. Avarice, Perpetual Ruin on Mighty Music for some heavy metal. Axemaster of Beast and Plague, Cosmic Fire Records. Belarus Beaver, Grinaf Den Brunabatha, self-released. Belvedere, 7 Years of Bad Luck, 7 Years of Bad Luck. Thousand Island Records, Blood Mother for some American black and death metal, self-titled release. The Conflux Collective, In the Wake of Saturn, also self-released. See, a lot of underground bands. Down, Over the Under re-release on Nuclear Blast Records. I'm waiting for mine to ship. Drakkar, Invasion, Wormhole Death Records for some death metal. Endseeker, Coffin Born EP on Metal Blade Records. False Messiah, 7 on Cemetery Records. Green Desert Water, very underrated band. Eerie Meadows on Small Stone Recordings for some psych rock. If I Die Today, I felt nothing. Me too, bro, me too. Innuendo, Not Lost on Accelerate Records. Iron Cobra, Eternal Dagger on Dying Victims for some death metal. The Best of Judas Priest by Judas Priest on Sony Music. If you don't have a lot of Judas Priest in your life, absolutely get a best of any band. If you can't afford all the records, I totally understand. Kerry King, deluxe edition of From Hell I Rise. I was one of the few people that liked that record. Extended deluxe edition. I really love to interview Kerry. Kilter, the jazz metal, black metal band from New York City. 10 Billion Years on Excursus Records. Liminal Sky, All Tomorrow's Darkness on Charisma Records for some death metal. Lone Shore, Nothing Left to Deconstruct on Willowtip Records. Lost in Kiev, We're All Going to Be Fine on Pelagic Records for some post-metal. Lumen Ad Mortem, A Grave Ascent on Hypnotic Dirge Records. Marillion.com re-release on Ear Music. Mork, Monolith on Peaceville Records. Plane Drifter, Gestalt on Ripple Music. Great stoner doom band. Sidon, Fang Driller, Scars Beneath Memory's Wrist on Avant-Garde Music for some death metal. Stupidity, Beyond Stupidity on Wicked Cool Records. I'm guessing that's a punk band. Various artists, Ride the Rainbow, the ultimate tribute to Richie Blackmore, and Richie Blackmore's Rainbow, some of which involves Dio. Warning, coming back with their comeback record after 20 years, Rituals of Shame. We reviewed that last night. And Witching Hour, Past Midnight re-release on Dying Victims Records Witching Hour. Fuck yeah. So that is all the new music that's fits the show. And now we're going to see if we can pull this off. And again, I'll try to do my best here. It's the mailbag. And so I mentioned for the mailbag, maybe what I'll do is I'll just fully embiggen me. I resubscribed to the Metalhead box. They did not send us anything for free. This winter, they were running a special. 2 vinyl LPs of a genre of your choosing or random, with a couple of other knickknacks and treats thrown in every month. It's $49 to the States. If you're somewhere else in the world, it might cost a bit more. And I have been getting a few of these boxes. It takes them a while to get them out, but I have another one to unbox. I am not subscribed to them anymore. I might have 1 or 2 more of these coming, but I wanted to share these with you because I feel like subscription boxes are a nice way to boost your collection and get, like I get records sent to me. It's one of the gifts of being a music journalist. I get records. You see me do vinyl reviews and unboxings here on the channel, as well as other things. But I think a subscription box is a cool way to surprise yourself with something you're not expecting to get, and you get gems. So I wanted to share these with you. So this month's box is 2 vinyl, a cool pin. This looks like the classic Autopsy. Let me add my other camera angle. So we're going to get the top-down angle. I am wearing my Wake and Bake pajamas. Don't judge me. Here we go. So very cool Autopsy pin here. If you can see that there, very cool. I'll show it here also. Very nice. There's also a cool Dark Throne sticker. I'm about to do a big project with stickers and things. So here's Under a Funeral Moon album cover sticker. Very nice. This was protected in one of the vinyl sleeves. So the first record is, neither of these were bands I was super familiar with, but I definitely am familiar with the label. So this is Elor Sith, and the album is called Oboheis. I hope I said that correctly. And I'm just going to show it off here. This is from Dark Descent Records. One of the better and more underrated black metal bands from before the pandemic. Neither of these bands have put out something recent. And I'll link them in the description, maybe their band camps, maybe the record label, so you can check them out. Here's the cover, and this is a very gorgeous print on the cover with some cool bat skulls or something. Almost looks like a wood carving as a print, which is hella nice. You can see that here. And then, let's see, no gatefold, single sleeve. Oh, it's got a download card. That's cool. I'll just stick that over there. It's got this really cool lyric sheet. So this is like an EP, 4 songs, and it's got like a story. In the late summer of 1929, Marie Norn Emily Edith Scenario left London for Jonache. Was a student of ritual magic, occultism, and telepathy. So this is a concept record, clearly. And there's like some Lord of the Rings ass 7 Kingdoms map here that you can definitely see and appreciate. Check that out on the second camera angle. Really cool. And here it is here for you. So very fun and cool. And then the vinyl, I think these are plain black vinyl presses, but super nice attention to detail. Did come in the paper mylar, as we do on the Vinyl Care podcast, the Glacial Musical podcast. Always put your vinyl in outer and inner mylars. Oh, lost a light, but that's fine. At the same time, so weird. But anyway, cool, very cool, esoteric rune type, maybe Greek lettering or Cyrillic. Very cool. And then for the second one, and I hope I pronounced this correctly, the second one of these is from the band Ensnared, which I believe is a Swedish death metal band. Elor Sith is also from Europe, or maybe not. Maybe they're hiding there. But yeah, Ensnared, and this is Disangelium, which I think is Latin. I didn't bother to look it up, but a really cool, almost kind of reminds me, I mentioned Thou a couple times, and I'm really hoping Thou is going to announce a new album. But look at this gorgeous album artwork here. I just wanted you to see this a little better. I'll try to bring another light over here. Sorry to you guys on TikTok. You always get shorted. Here's the album artwork. Here it is again, gorgeous. Almost looks like a classical painting where like fire and a spell and a smoke in the outside of a temple or a ruined temple. There looks like they're casting a spell. Could be some boobies. Don't look at those. To a drawing of boobies, not actual breath. This is a gatefold with 2 vinyl, so very cool. Or 1 vinyl on the gatefold, a little wasteful. Both of these records, incidentally, are Dark Descent records, which makes me think that the Metalhead box has a deal with Dark Descent Records. This comes with a whole booklet about this album. They have their own font. This is gorgeous. This is absolutely beautiful. Look at this thing. So really cool. 2 albums I probably wouldn't have bought on my own unless I found them at, vinyl shopping in the wild. This second band here, Ensnared, I wasn't too familiar with, but super cool. I'm looking forward to listening to these. And then, so here's let's just do the front cover, the back cover, which again kind of looks like that thou mystic esoteric type thing. Here's the gatefold, which is looks like an old-fashioned photograph of animal skulls in the woods and some weirdly grown mushrooms that look very phallic, but mushrooms are phallic. There's an inner sleeve here, and again, I don't love the vinyl inside the inner sleeve, but again, this is, small, relatively small black and death metal record label, Dark Descent Records. Let's see if there's anything else in here. Inside the paper sleeve, I have my own collection of Mylar inners and outers. You should get yours from the link in our description. And here is this record, Dysangelium, with the very satanic black vinyl and the label in the center. Fucking cool. Yeah, really cool. Metalhead box, $50 for basically 2 vinyls, a pin, and a sticker. I am excited to listen to records I wasn't expecting to receive and now added to my collection. These are from 2018 and 2017. Neither of these bands have put out anything since 2020. I don't know if they went on to other bands. They were both on Metal Archives. That's how I found them. And yeah, what a really cool thing to get these records in hand. And again, Metalhead box, they have smaller boxes with trinkets and merch. They have shirt boxes. I have really enjoyed getting their stuff. I will unbox the next few that I should be receiving from my payments that I already paid. And yeah, Metalhead box, definitely worth the value. And they didn't pay me to say that. I paid out of my pocket at least like $200 already to get these boxes. So shout out to Metalhead box. Check them out if you're looking for out of the box, against the grain stuff you're not used to getting, and surprises, and learn about some new bands, especially if you like extreme metal, black metal, death metal. But they have stoner doom, they have thrash, they have new bands, they have old bands. Sometimes they throw in classic stuff. I have been a fan for a while. And that is our show. In a very lengthy hour and a half, but again, as I mentioned earlier, I was trying to make up for last week and last week's snafu and problems. So thanks for watching. If you managed to make it this far, I deeply appreciate you guys. We do have quite a few people still watching on YouTube and Instagram. Human Missile Crisis, Necrofagor, M. White City, thanks for being back. Probu, everybody that watched on TikTok and followed. It's not Goat Lock 4. Enjoying your content. I look forward to more videos from you. Shout out to my boy Mike. I'm sure he's not going to be a good sport about him being on this, wearing this Knicks jersey. As I say every week at this juncture of the show, please don't drink and drive. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Stay as metal as humanly possible. Have a great weekend. I'll be back with some more stuff soon. Catch you on the flippity flip. Peace out. And I dance a jig-ish on the way out. Bang.